This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is Python's Paradise, your film and music show, and this is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena. And folks, I'm a co-producer on 13 Fanboy, very proud of it. But the guest I have on the phone, she's a newbie to me, and she is the heroine, I'm suspecting the heroine of 13 Fanboy. And I've heard she's quite the quote-unquote diva, according to Jason Bradford. Folks, I give you the lovely, the talented Hayley Greenbauer. How do you do, Hayley?
Hi, thank you for the lovely introduction, Greg. I'm doing great, thank you.
Yes, Jason Bradford said you're a diva.
That is so funny. He's such a funny one.
Oh, he said
made it a complete joke. Completely a joke. I would like to think and know that I'm the opposite of a diva. Feel free to run that by Deb. I think she'll verify for me.
Actually, what Jason was saying, that he was having some fun with you. I brought I remember I was pitching the Doubtfire Face challenge, and he said, "Oh, you got to pitch that to Hayley," and he told me about the. I guess you wanted him to get a drink for you or something like that, and he goes, "Is she too much of a star or diva to come out and ask me herself?"
Yeah.
and you came out and did the little diva.
Well, I was busy.
Well, he meant this in a good way. He said all good things about you.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, he's great. He's been such a great help on set, too. So he actually picked me up from the airport the second time around, or I guess technically the third time around when I landed in Albuquerque. So, lots of time on the road, which has been great.
Oh, gee.
Really dude, so it's been fun.
Were you a pain in his ass all those times?
For me, no. I don't think so. I think I am so pleasant to be around.
I know there was a video that was put up where, see, I've never been out in New Mexico, so...
it's beautiful.
Apparently you guys had hail one day or something like that?
Oh, yeah. It was so funny, too, because it was like a nice day, sunny and beautiful, and me and Andrew and Vincent, we all had the day off. And so we're like, hey, it's a beautiful day. Like, let's go to the lake. And we, stopped by Walmart, got some fishing poles, and we're fishing. And we walked on the other side of the lake because it was, nobody was over there. It was more private. So we're fishing, and we start hearing thunder. And I'm, kind of looking ahead, and I'm like, okay, that's not looking great. And they say, oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And I randomly, in high school and, in a little bit in college, I worked for a storm chaser. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't really know. That cloud over there is kind of looking wicked. No, it's fine. Cut to 10 minutes later, hail. Full-on hail, lightning. It starts pouring. We're on the opposite side of the lake from where our car is. And so I'm in flip-flops. We're just, running for our lives. It was really hilarious. It was there's moments of oh no, really scary. But most of the time we were just kind of laughing. This would happen. Get stuck in a hailstorm. So, I had a towel, luckily, to put over my head. So.
Did you jump on Jason Bradford's back and make him piggyback you?
No, he actually wasn't there. It was just Steve, Vincent,
Andrew. I think he made that hail on you. I think Jason Bradford cooked that up.
I don't know. Maybe he had some crazy hookups that I don't know about. Pretty good CGI.
Who was you with at that?
For that day, I was with Vincent and Andrew.
Oh, the Never Hike Alone guys.
Yeah, so it was fun. We were just kind of fishing, enjoying the night off, or the day off with the sun, and then bam, a little bit of a hailstorm. Keeps us on our toes, so it was fun.
Isn't it cool? Never Hike Alone. There's some of the Friday the 13th films that are so bad they're almost unwatchable. Jason X, and then you get Never Hike Alone, which some people, it just comes off like this is fan film, and then you watch it and it's like It was so friggin' good.
It was really good. I know. I actually watched it for the first time when we were filming. I watched it with Vincent and Andrew. They're like, "Hey, let's watch this. You've never seen it." And I was like, "Okay." So it's kind of a really cool experience to be able to watch that for the first time with them. It was a great film, and they're going to be working on a second one, I think, or maybe a third. I don't even know. They've been keeping busy. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to support the second one, but I've been wrapped up with this and Hearts of Darkness, the making of the Final Friday, and various other projects. I wasn't able to. I was glad that Tom Matthews is in the second one.
Yeah, he was in the first one too.
Yep. Although
I haven't met him yet, but I'm excited to work with him.
I guess you haven't heard then.
Oh, probably not. I kind of live under a rock sometimes.
Oh, well, I know I spoke to Debbie Sue about this. I guess Tom Matthews is not in 13 Fanboy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, when I put I've had him on my show twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was fantastic that he was part of this film, because he was Tommy Jarvis and Jason Lives. And I put his first interview I did with him up for its anniversary, and I mentioned I was so happy to be co-producing a film that he's involved in. I get this private message from him saying that he pulled himself from the project for various reasons,
okay.
And I'm kind of sad about that because he was like the fourth wheel of that film. You had Kane Hodder, you got Dee Wallace, you got Corey Feldman. Well, You get Tom Matthews. Now, I do know there's people that joined this campaign because of Tom Matthews, so yeah. But
yeah, well, that's definitely sad to hear, but I do know that there's so many people as well in the franchise that I think the film's going to be great. We'll definitely miss him for sure, and hopefully I'll get to meet him one day, but, hopefully the next project.
I'm hoping that they're just, quote unquote, fucking with me and that I watch the film and he's in it anyway. I'd like to hope so. Yeah.
I just show up when they tell me to show up.
No, you show up when Jason Bradford drives you there.
Well, usually Andrew drives me because we usually fly in together because we fly in from LA.
Yeah.
So Jason picked me up once, and let's see, Vincent drove me back, Andrew drove me back because we have quite a little bit of a drive, to and from the airport.
Yeah, Jason had quite a bit of a drive to Crazy from you.
People. He's a good sport, for sure.
He is. Yes, he is. He never complained at all, but he mentioned fond things about you, so there you go.
Oh, well, that's good.
He was able to laugh at you.
Yeah, he threw in that nice, sweet comment that I'm a diva. I love that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, yeah.
But it was funny because the little mountain town that we're shooting in, it closes down at 9, everything, and it was the last day of we had pickup shots the next day. It was my last intense dialogue day, and the second sex scene that I was there that week, and it's the first time I've ever done one. And so I was kidding around with Andrew. I was like, after today, we need to get a drink because tomorrow's an easy day. There's no dialogue. We're just gonna. I was I need this. And then we're filming, and then we both realized oh crap, this town shuts down at 9. We're not gonna be out of here till 1. What are we gonna do? So that's kind of where it all started. I was like, hey, do you mind maybe getting this, and I'll Venmo you, I'll pay you. And then he's like, oh, what? You just flip your hair and say you're a diva, and I'll get it. I was just like, okay, deal.
So you're do a sex scene, and you're sending him off to... You see, I'd be offended right there. I'm like, you're going to have sex with him, and you're sending me to get the liquor? Thanks.
We couldn't leave. We were filming.
How do you prepare yourself to do a sex scene?
There's really not anything you really can prepare. I think it's just you kind of go in knowing, okay, this might be a little bit awkward, but guess what? The other actor is right there with you. And the same, like, okay, this might be awkward. I'm just going to respect you. You're going to respect me. And it's, Deborah was great and had, like, very minimal set, or minimal crew.
Yeah.
Every time that we had, like, an intimate scene. So, like, I definitely respected that. It, was much needed. But it's just kind of, sex scenes are a little bit awkward. It's just,
Yeah, I know. Just ask any girl.
You're getting to know each other.
Just ask any girl that. Just ask any girl that had the opportunity with me, and they'll say it's awkward just before they throw up.
Oh, hush. Yeah, but so needless to say, it was like a very long, but it was a very fun, sweet day. But it was also like at the end of that day, I was like, yeah, we need a drink because like we finished all the hard stuff. Like I had a lot of emotional scenes that week. And like 2 sex scenes, and it was like the first one. So I was like, okay, we're gonna have a little celebratory drink, that we finished that portion of the film. But then, the sad realization that town closes at 9. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. But Jason was a great sport. He was like, yeah, what kind do you want? And I was like, oh wow, like that's so sweet of you. I was like, let me Venmo you. I would pay you. I appreciate it. I would get it myself. But he was really sweet.
Was Andrew Leahy you had the sex scene with?
Yes.
Well, I guess you're not complaining and he's not complaining.
I mean, I think that's what we've decided. Like, okay, I'm not complaining, he's not complaining, or I like to hope so.
Well, it's because you're not having one with me. Then you'd be complaining,
right,
and then you'd probably be sticking your finger in your mouth.
No. That's funny. No, it was fine, and it was, it was good. Everyone on set was super respectful, and we made it work. And hopefully, the viewers of 13 Fanboy like it. Like all the hard work that we've been putting into it. So I'm excited to see the final cut and everything.
Well, I'm excited for it, but before we dive into that anymore, you're a newbie for me. I hadn't heard of you until you became part of this project. So please give me a little bit of your background and how you came to 13 Fanboy, how you got into the arts. Yeah.
So I am from Grapevine, Texas. So like a suburb outside of Dallas and Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. And my mom actually did costuming at our local theater. And so, her being so involved in like the theater arts, I would hang out with her at the theater all the time when she's, doing everyone for dress rehearsal and, getting everyone's fittings and making the costumes and everything. I think I was 2, and they were doing Wizard of Oz, like the next show. And I just walked up to my mom and I was like, I'm going to be in this one. Mom was like, what? I was like, yep, I want to be in it. So it kind of started from there, like starting at the local theater and just falling in love with it. I did it for years and years, and when I was 6, I got my first agent because they were in the audience at one of our performances. And then, so I got picked up and did lots of commercials, and I was also on Barney for a little bit. And we did, like, the tour, so we traveled around, like, the United States, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Canada, and did the whole tour bus thing, which was a really fun experience, being 9 and 10, and I think 11. So it was really great, to travel around as like that young and perform in huge arenas, and I loved it, So I did that for a little bit, and then I honestly missed school. I don't know what kid misses school, but I was one of them.
I never did.
So I like looking back, I'm like, wow, Hayley, that was a good move. But everything happens for a reason, and I am really, really thankful that both of my parents, they never forced me to stay into acting or whatever, and they're both so great and supportive of like the career that I want to do. Mm-hmm. But at age 10, and I was just like, hey, like I don't really want to do the Barney tour anymore. I miss my sisters because I'm super close with my 2 older sisters, and I was on the road all the time. The studio was great, and they would, fly in. My family would go to other places. We had family, and they would put us up in really great hotels. So it was great. But at the end of the day, I was 10 years old, away from my sisters and away from my school and my friends. And I just told my parents, hey, like, I kind of want to go back to school. So they let me quit, and I quit for a while and just continued to got really into sports and did like the theater at like the local community theater and in high school as well. And then I moved to San Diego. And then then I went to school to San Diego for theater and film. So I did performing emphasis, and then I minored in film, TV, and new media. And I got a new agent, and I was driving back and forth and, doing just a lot of castings, like lots of commercial work, really great opportunities. And I booked this, like, college comedy, like kind of like a raunchy college comedy that was supposed to go to Netflix, but there was, like, some sort of, like, issue. You know how that kind of thing always goes. It's like, it's going, and then, oh, no, it falls through. But, there's been so many almost, being put on hold for American Horror Story, which was exciting, obviously, like, auditioning for such big studios.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just kind of the name of the game. You go in, you keep going, you start making a name for yourself. It's definitely a hard industry to get in. But, so, I mean, I haven't been a lot of stuff that you would see. I've done a lot of, like, student films, like little indie films here and there. Lots of commercial work, but this is definitely the first big one for me. So I'm definitely very, very excited.
I think it's funny you did Bernie.
Oh, I know, right?
I interviewed somebody who was part of Bernie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed Todd Duffy, who was in Office Space, and he played Scooter McNutty in Bernie. And I don't know. I was not somebody that watched Bernie growing up. I have a nephew that did.
Yeah. I honestly loved Bernie growing up. And it was just funny. I was like, oh, wow, like, now I'm on the show. And it was a really fun experience. Definitely. But it was kind of crazy how I got linked up with Deborah as, like, one of my other good friends that we shot, like, a short film and did, like, a couple other projects for him and, like, commercial work and everything. Because he's actually getting brought on to 13 Fanboy as well, which is great. He's going to be the DP for the remaining of the film, Ben Meredith. And so I've known him for years. And so I was helping him with, what was it? It was a camera, like a certain camera, like, trial or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but he's friends with Vincent because they did Never Hike Alone. And so he brought him into this, like, little project, and I met Vincent. And Deborah, of course, reached out to Vincent, knowing, his successful fan film, Never Hike Alone. And she was like, hey, do you know any actresses that live in L.A. that you'd recommend? Because at first I just got hired for the Indiegogo campaign. And so Vincent, luckily gave my name and obviously a couple other names to Deborah. And I auditioned a couple of times via, like, Skype and everything. And I booked the Indiegogo film, and then we went to New Mexico, and we, like, we vibed really well. I loved, like, working with her, and she basically, like, after we shot the little, like, couple days of the Indiegogo, she was like, I would love you as the lead, as Kelsey. Obviously, I'm going to touch base with the producers and stuff and try to make it final, but I'll call you, as soon as I can. And I was like, that's great. I'm definitely interested. And she's so sweet, and it's been such a blessing to work with her. I remember the day that she called me and said, hey, I talked to the producers, they approved you, they were so excited. She was so thrilled that she called me. She was like, I literally just hung up on Joel and was like, okay, I'm going to call Hayley really quick. Like, hung up and, like, called me. And it was so fun and so exciting to, like, hear the news and just, like, being able to, create 13 Fanboy and be a big part of it. So I'm super honored and very excited to see where this film goes. So that's kind of how I got involved with Deborah.
Well, I grew up with the Friday the 13th franchise, and I would have been 8 years old the year the original came out. And so I've seen them all. Have you seen every one of them?
I originally thought I had, and then my friend got me this, kind of congratulations, gave me, like, the full collection.
Yeah.
of like all of them. And I haven't finished all of them. I won't lie, I haven't finished all of them, but every one that I've seen, I definitely love.
What's your
And it's
favorite?
I mean, I like the original, the first one, when the lion gets her head chopped off. It's a good one, but I'll be completely honest.
Huh?
I'm not like, yes, I love like scary things, like, but scary movies kind of scare me, which is kind of comical. Like, and it's weird because all my friends give me a hard time because they're like, "Why aren't you going to be starring in one?" I'm like, "Yes, I know." And even before this, I love going to haunted houses. Like, I've always loved it. Like, as a kid, I would, walk through these like crazy, scary haunted houses, but like, I would rather do that than sit on my couch and watch a scary movie, which makes no sense. But in my mind, it makes sense, because I know they're actors, and I go to a specific destination and see them, performing. Basically, you walk around and you can interact with them a little bit. But when you're sitting on your couch watching a scary movie, you hear noises and you just think, Jason's in your house. So.
Well, I grew up with the franchise, and with this lawsuit going on right now, I have interviewed Victor Miller, and I'm kind of siding with him on this one, but I love the fact that despite the lawsuit, you got people making Never Hike Alone, and you got 13 Fanboy. It's like a
successful like spinoff for sure.
Well, it's like the middle finger to this lawsuit. It's like, F you.
I mean, a little bit, right? It's like, first of all, we people love Jason, and, people need to get Jason, so.
Well,
it's a legacy for sure.
Well, as soon as this lawsuit gets up, I mean, Tom McLaughlin, who directed Part 6, Jason Lives, he's got a script all ready to make when they get this thing resolved.
Oh, yeah, I bet. It's been years.
Yeah. And people are just getting a little antagonized about it. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Great.
So you come on set of this movie. I got involved early. As I said, Debbie Sue Voorhees has been on my show 4 times. Mm-hmm. And she first spoke of this project in the 3rd interview. The 4th one, as of right now, is not up yet. But when she announced it, I was like, oh boy, I got to get involved with this. The moment she mentioned Tracy Savage was in it, I was like, okay, gee, I got to get in this, And yeah, my picture is going to be in a scene with her. I did that.
Cool.
Yeah. So my picture's going to be in it, and I'm going to have a co-producer perk, which is nice. It looks good on the resume, so there you go.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's exciting.
Yeah. But I'm kind of looking at all this alumni and whatnot. Were you a little intimidated going in?
I mean, yes, there's always a little bit of that intimidation factor of, okay, like, everyone is like, known within, especially the horror community. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of the only new one, so it's a little intimidating to be like, hey, like, I hope you guys accept me, like, I know like the horror fans are like really loyal, like great fans. So it's a really cool spot to get in, but of course there's that, insecurity of like, oh, like, welcome me, please. I'm excited. But at the same time, I really have a lot of faith in Deborah, and I know it's going to be a great film. So I'm not too intimidated. I'm more, especially more excited, to work around them and to work with these actors, especially Dee Wallace. And she's been in so many projects, so to be on set with her and to learn from her, like, I'm definitely more excited than intimidated, for sure. And I randomly met her personal assistant. So random. She's like, oh, I'm an assistant to an actress. I don't know if you know her. And I was like, oh, who? She's like, Dee Wallace. And I'm like, no way. Like, that is the smallest world. I'm actually going to be in a film with her. And she's like, oh, which one? And it's just funny how small this world is, and she just spoke so highly of Dee. And one of my other friends, Ben, who's the DP and my friend, he just had another friend work with Dee Wallace. And he said she was such a great person to work with, and the energy on set was always so fun. So I'm definitely very, very, very excited to work with her. But there's that little intimidation factor for sure. But I think I'll be able to, go in and stand my own ground and learn a lot. So.
Well, you know what? I interviewed Dee Wallace back in 2015. I'm going to try to get her on for this film. I know she's been very busy, but I met her. I met her last year at Horrorama, and she remembered my interview, and she said she got good. She got good response for the interview, and I met her, and she signed my Blu-rays for The Howling and E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and yep. And so, it was nice to meet Dee. She has a very high energy, but I wouldn't be intimidated. I strangely enough, I wasn't intimidated, but I've gotten to the point now where I've talked to so many of these people in the movies, is I'm starting to see you guys as human beings as opposed to...
Yeah, which is good.
Yep.
That's what we are.
So I remember when Dee did a panel that I just caught the end of, she was walking out and I just kind of tapped her on the shoulder and told her who I was. And we just talked for a few minutes, and then I went to her table and gave her a bunch of money for pictures and signatures and stuff.
I've heard only wonderful things, so I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, she actually even had a debit machine, so which I wasn't used to seeing at these conventions, but I'm like, yeah.
A what machine?
A debit machine. Put your card in so you don't have to carry cash.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. So Dee was wonderful and pretty quirky. So you're in good hands there.
Good. I'm excited.
Yep, you guys are set to work with her in January. Now, is she coming to New Mexico, or is that part of the LA shoot?
I think it's going to be the New Mexico for sure.
Okay.
But she might be a little bit of both. I'm not 100% sure yet because, I know as much as I need to know. You know what I mean?
Well,
There's so much work that's going on to this, production, and Deborah and her whole entire team have been working so hard and so many hours to setting everything up, so it's I don't know all the ins and outs. I know they've just been very, very busy.
Well, you play a character named Kelsey Voorhees, whom I'm assuming is related to Debbie Sue Voorhees' character, if she's appearing in the film, and I urged her, she got to do it. But nonetheless, talk about your character. Tell us about Kelsey.
Kelsey is, she's very down to earth. She kind of shadows me a little bit. She's definitely not a girly girl. She's tough. She's not afraid to speak her mind at all. She has lots of layers, which has been really fun to work with, because I just feel sometimes in scary movies, there's a lot of some characters, there's not a million different layers to them. You know what I mean? All of the inner workings of, things that's happened to their past and, what's going to be happening to them or what's currently happening. And Kelsey's kind of, she's a little spitfire for sure. She has an MMA background, so she's kind of a badass. She teaches women's self-defense classes. So going into a horror film with Kelsey as co-leading with Dee, it's okay, so this girl can kick ass, which is great. So I kind of think that's all I kind of want to tell you is that Kelsey can kick ass when she needs to, but she's interesting. She's got layers. She's fun. I've really, really enjoyed, playing her and kind of picking apart her brain a bit.
Were you going to kick ass on Jason if he didn't get you your drinks?
No. It's so funny because I was like, I can totally get it. And I was like, and also, if you're busy, don't even worry about it. It's not a thing. They were honestly, they were laughing so much because Hayley, it's not a big deal. And I felt so uncomfortable even asking.
Oh, trust me, he wasn't one bit bothered. He wasn't one bit bothered. Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't one bit bothered.
Diva, Jason.
There you go.
Not a diva.
So
Sure, thank you.
So you do fight scenes in this movie. Talk about did you have a double or did you do this yourself? Talk about the process.
Well, we are like the majority of the fight scenes are going to be happening in January, but we did like a little bit. Well, I mean, the Indiegogo campaign, like you saw the video of me jumping into the lake. That was not a double. That was me. The water was quite cold. And so that was fun. It was dark. Couldn't see the water. And Deborah was so sweet. She was like, I'm so sorry. It's okay. Like, if you don't want to do it, like, we were supposed to be here earlier when you could see the water. Like, I promise you, there's no rocks there. I mean, I haven't jumped in it personally, but I've seen people do it. So I know it's probably not rocks. And I'm like, okay.
Is that part of the movie, that right there, or is that just a teaser?
Oh, no. That was just the Indiegogo, like, campaign, you know.
Okay.
So kind of to spread the word and, you know, because that was a completely different character.
Okay.
That was just, so the character on the teaser, her name was Stacy, and, you know, she didn't have too many layers to her. She's just stripping and running into the lake, you know, but so for that one, we didn't have any stunt people. Andrew was really sweet that he would kind of lean over the rocks and, like, help me, like, get pulled up because we had to jump in there 3 times, or I had to jump in there 3 times. And then the next day we did, like, the drowning scene where we did, like, some work in the pool, and we did some work in the lake as well. But this time, like, for this shoot, I know there's no water, so that's cool. Spoiler alert, there's no water. I'm okay with it. But for this coming up one, in January, I'll be able to tell you more about it later because I don't really.
Oh, that's okay because I'll reach.
Like, I think I'll have. Like, I know Deborah had mentioned that I have, like, you know, a stunt person as well, or at least a stunt coordinator.
Yeah, his name's Jason Bradford.
Yeah. When we shot in July, I taught, like, a little self-defense class, and Joel taught me, like, this move, like the rear naked choke kind of, like, the night before, and then we shot it. You know, I actually boxed for a little bit, like, with one of my friends. So I'm not completely, you know, like, I know some things, you know, I know some basics. And I'm going to be working with one of my friends at this boxing gym, and he's like worked on stunts and stuff before. So Joel's going to tell me all of the moves I'm doing, and I'm going to go to my friend Joe and be like, hey, Joe, like, these are the things I need to learn, you know, and then we'll work it out on set. But I'm hoping, I know we'll have a stunt coordinator. I just don't know all the details, but I'm super athletic. Like, I grew up doing sports, so it's not going to be too far of a stretch for me. So I'm very thankful for that. You know, I'm excited to work with a stunt coordinator and stuff like that. But I guess we'll have to see come January. We've got a few.
Well, Kane Hodder is in this movie. Speaking of stunt people, yeah. Have you met him, and have you learned gotten any stunt advice from him?
I actually did not meet him. I know he shot, like, I think the day before or the day that I flew into New Mexico. So I actually did not get to meet him, but I heard he was great, and I heard he was super fun, so, like, super fun to work with and everything. But unfortunately, I did not get the pleasure of meeting him yet. Okay.
Well, who have you met that you can talk about?
Let's see. I mean, obviously Andrew and Vincent DeSanti, and I think that's actually it. Because, like, when I did film for about a week. And Corey Feldman.
Talk about meeting him. He was, of course, in Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we only shot for a day. It was I think we shot like 15 hours that day, or I did, which was fun. It was actually the first day that we started filming. So it was fun energy having him on set. But we had 2 scenes together, so it wasn't like a crazy amount of time, you know, to work. But he was great. He was fun to work with. Really great energy and really hilarious, like his character. You guys, I'm excited for you guys to see because he really did a great job.
He's a staple of the 80s. Like 35 years ago, he did Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and Gremlins. 1984, he did both of those movies. He went on to do a bunch of other movies after that. Just a staple of movies. Goonies, Stand By Me, License to Drive, and Lost Boys. Like Corey Feldman was everywhere, and I've always liked him.
Oh yeah, no, he was definitely a really cool dude. To work with. So.
And he worked with my favorite Jason, which was Ted White. Ted White of the final chapter was my favorite portrayal of Jason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my favorite. But yeah, Corey Feldman. It's great that his name was I think added to this after I put my name on this. So I think so anyway. But that was so far long ago. I just knew that Tracy Savage was in it, and I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, Judy Aronson, and let's see, who else?
Judy Aronson, yep.
Yep, Dee Wallace, and who else? There's so many. I'm so excited to be.
I'll tell you who all I've interviewed. I'll tell you who all I've interviewed from this film. Debbie Voorhees, of course, has been on 4 times on the show.
Yes, of course.
Yep, I've interviewed Dee Wallace. I've interviewed Lar Park Lincoln.
Oh yeah, I met Lar Park too. Wow, I'm like just a space cadet today. She was so sweet. She's actually from Dallas, so I'm from the Texas area. So it was fun getting to meet her. She was so sweet, such a great energy. We only had. I guess technically we didn't have a scene together, but we shot in the same space, so I got to meet her for an afternoon. So that was fun.
Is she as funny as she appears in videos?
Oh, she's so funny. She's funny. Her energy is great. It was just a quick afternoon, but she was spunky, and I liked her.
Jason Bradford mentioned that to me, that he got her a great big thing of Nutella.
Oh, yeah, he did tell me that. So fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I interviewed her. I've interviewed Tracy Savage. Had her on Boxing Day 2017. Thank you, Mike Guttridge, for that one. I've had Adrienne King. I've had Ron Sloan. I've had Deborah.
I have not met him yet.
Yeah, I've had Deborah Sullivan. And let me see. Jason Bradford, of course, I had him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let me see, going down through here. And I have you.
Yep.
So that's 9.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I might have interviewed more people from this film than any film.
We have a pretty solid cast, so...
Well, I've interviewed Troy Elke, who, of course, is one of the associate producers on this as well. There might be another person on here I've interviewed. Kind of escapes me right now, but I would have had Tom Matthews. I'm hoping that I'm hoping they're just playing a joke on me. I hope that Tom Matthews is in this. Yeah.
Never know with this town.
Yeah, Tom is great. But, yeah, did you meet Tracy Savage?
No, I didn't.
Well,
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I know, because it's when the alumni comes on, they usually have a full day of filming, getting their shots, and I don't have any scenes with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was different days. I think I was probably either landing or driving, or possibly running from hail.
Oh, Vincent DeSante, I had him on. Okay, that was the other one. Yep.
Oh, yeah, Vincent. He's great. I've worked with him. He actually was on the Indiegogo, and he's the one that was drowning me in the pool. So we go way back. Yeah.
I heard that Jason Bradford's going to drown you in the pool next.
He what?
I heard Jason Bradford's going to drown you in the pool next.
Oh, I'm not that much of a
Oh, he'll laugh when he hears us.
Yeah.
Trust me, he loves you, Hayley.
And I got a bone to pick with you.
He loves you, Hayley. I'm being a shit disturber.
No, it's okay. I mean, I know you are.
Yeah. Of course, Adrienne King hasn't shot her scenes yet, but she's coming up. Jennifer Bonco, did you meet her?
Yeah, she was on. No, she was on set before I got there, or when I was flying in, I think.
Okay.
Those travel days are pretty long because we would, leave here. Of course, it takes like an hour to get anywhere in LA, so we drive to the airport, and then once we land, we'd have like a 3-hour drive, to get back.
Well, hats off to Jason Bradford. Hats off to him for doing all that driving,
for driving everybody, yeah.
Because I don't know if I could have did it.
Yeah, it's funny, but he was great. He's just excited to also be a part of it. And he's so helpful. He's down to do anything for the project, which we love. So if that's driving to and from Albuquerque, then he's gonna do it with a smile.
So you went, tried to go fishing on your downtime. Do you get much downtime when you was on set?
No, not really. I know one call time was 4 a.m. But we actually wrapped up pretty early that day. And I think the latest we went to was like 2:30 a.m. So it's kind of been on both spectrums of like really early or late, but production is always, especially people who aren't in the industry, it always is. It takes so long to create, these movies. So there's so much work that goes into it. So, but when I filmed in July, it was a lot of like, obviously my coverage. So it'd be like my one-on-one scenes or me and Andrew scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get much downtime, no, to answer your question. I think we had that one afternoon, but we called it obviously really early because we had to do some choreography I did with Joel to learn some like defense moves and stuff. So I think we had that little afternoon that we got stuck in the rain and the hail, and that was pretty much it.
Oh, wow. I even told Debbie Sue that I'm probably not going to make it to the premiere. I don't have a passport, but with the way things are going on in the States right now, I'm a little nervous to travel anywhere there.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you.
But I did tell her that I know who the 13 fanboys are. And I say fanboys. I said, Debbie, you're not fooling anybody with those 2 dogs. I know they're the fanboys.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and she responds back, shh.
Don't tell anybody. Just keep it.
Yeah, those.
No spoiler alerts, Greg. Come on.
I said, Debbie Sue, I know those dogs are the killers in this. I know it.
Right. Can't trust them. Oh, I love dogs. They're the best.
Did you see her dogs?
I did when we shot the Indiegogo, but because I stayed at her place the first time, but this time around I stayed at a hotel and like Airbnb, so I did not unfortunately get to be around her pups, which was sad because they're so cute, and I have a dog too. So
I have a kitty. I have a kitty cat.
Oh, yeah, they're great too. I actually have a dog and a cat.
Yeah.
In LA, which is very rare. You'd be like, wait, you have a dog and a cat? Yep.
Strangely enough, they can get along better than what the...
Oh, yeah, they're best friends.
Yep. But, no, I am looking forward to when this comes out. I do have a shirt, a 13 Fanboy shirt, and a tote bag.
Oh, good.
Because on the 29th, I head out to Toronto to Horrorama, and I am going to be promoting the film there while I go
great.
Meet new guests and whatnot. I never thought of this until it was too late, because I know Debbie was quite happy that I was going to promote the film there, and it never hit me till it was too late that, gee, I wonder if they'll let me do a panel on this there.
Oh, yeah, they probably would have. Sure.
Yeah, but I'm going to try for it next year. Unless they can get people from the cast there, I'm going to put myself in for a panel. Says I think that I would love to. Plus, I'll have Hearts of Darkness, and I got 7 James Balsamo cameos I've done. So I'll have lots I can talk about. But I would love to pitch 13 Fanboy out more.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. Especially, I think once the film comes out too, and we get like an official trailer out. We'll definitely get the word continue to grow, and more conventions and more panels and stuff, I think that definitely could only help,
Now it escapes me right now. I got to look at the IMDb here. The woman that's doing the special effects. Let me see.
There's a new one. I haven't met her. I met Nora.
Okay, Nora Hewitt. Okay, yeah, that's who I'm looking at.
Yeah, Nora. She was super sweet. I only met her for a little bit, like momentarily, like in the house a couple times, because it was basically I was coming back from set. She was going to set, or mixing all the blood and all the stuff that doing all of the work that she needed to do. She gets in the zone, but. She did some. I saw some footage of the stuff that she made, and it's just really crazy. So the fans are in for a treat for sure.
She work on you?
Nope, not yet. Well, maybe she will. Maybe she won't. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I know she's worked on Jason.
Oh yeah. I saw it.
Yeah.
There on set that day, or I was just not when they filmed.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it live, but Jason showed me a picture. It looks really good.
Either that or he had a very bad accident with a ketchup bottle.
It's a toss-up. Who knows? It's Jason. Just kidding.
Well, I want to talk about some other stuff that you're involved with as well, just to familiarize people with other stuff you've done. Even though I haven't seen these, that doesn't mean that we can't promote them a little bit. Now, I do know that you... you were in Barney's Magical Castle.
Yeah, that was the life.
Oh.
Yeah, which is funny. It's like dinosaurs to Jason kind of. So, so jack of all trades.
Did you get teased any on set for?
What?
Did anybody tease you on set for being in a Barney film?
No, I don't think they know.
Oh, go. Well, wait for me to get done with.
It's not like I walk around and I'm like, hey, guess what? I was on Barney.
I'm gonna tell Jason Bradford you were in Barney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to start somewhere.
Well, you got a movie here called Chapters. Talk about that.
Oh, it was a movie I filmed in Dallas, actually, when I was home for school. It was just a little rom-com, kind of meet cute at a bookstore, and so it's not anything super into detail to talk about. It was a little quick project I did when I was home from college, but it was fun.
Okay.
I think the director is out in LA now. She actually reached out not that long ago. Was like, hey, what are you doing? Let's shoot something. I'm like, yes, please. I'm always down to shoot.
What's this show here called Shit Happens?
That was I know it's a thing I did in college. It was a comical, a comedy short.
Shit happened to all of us in college.
Yes, it does, and all through life. I think that's the beauty of living.
You get a number of
shit happens.
You get a number of short films here, too. You got Widows, you got Perception, Saturated. That's of course TV show, and Time Lost, Found, L.A., I Love You. But any of those that pop up to mind that you add anything to?
Yeah, I just did the L I Love You, but relatively recently, I think it was this summer, one of my friends it's actually, he went to college, they're brothers, they went to college with my sister, and we went to, I think it got into 2 film festivals. It's just basically the grind of LA, moving here, and it's because people, some people obviously don't realize how, yes, they know how tough this industry is, but it's all of the inner workings of LA. Yes, it's who you know, of course. If you know people, that's helpful, but I don't know anybody. I didn't. So it's if you don't have that option, you just kind of have to do the grind, get your agents, get your managers, and just keep working and hard. But the thing is that it's so tough for, especially people who don't have connections already. It's, you have to pay your bills, but you also have to make all these castings and auditions and callbacks and table reads. And so it's kind of, you always have two jobs. You've got like your day job, and then you have acting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's a job in itself. But, when that's not paying the bills, you're like, okay, I'm working in the bar, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So it's been tough, but it's been very rewarding. You know what I mean? You just got to set your goals and, continue to work hard and grind it out and, hope that all of your hard work will pay off. So I feel like LA, I Love You, but kind of touches base a little bit on that.
Mm-hmm.
It follows like two guys that move here to try to, live the dream, and they meet, a couple different people. And I don't know if they're basically...
You get a dog there.
Yeah, my dog, and then I'm watching my friend's dog at the moment.
They're chiming in. They're chiming in.
Who's at the door? I've got to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you have a web page you want to promote on here?
Yeah. Well, I have. So, my website is HayleyGreenbauer.com.
Okay.
So there's some little.
Yeah.
There is, so it's HayleyGreenbauer.com, and I mean, it's just, about me and some things that I've worked on, things that I'm currently working on. I try to keep it up to date, but, sometimes I get a little busy.
Mm-hmm.
So it has like my rep and stuff on there. But yeah, so that would be the only website I have right now. Of course, as this film continues to grow, I'll definitely be on it more and more active. So,
do you have any charities that you want to plug on here?
Yeah, actually. So my sister, she started a nonprofit relatively recently, so about 2 years ago, and it's called Native Hoofs.
Okay.
And yeah, so she loves horses. Obviously, who doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
But it is a like equine therapy, for at-risk teens and kids. She's still raising a lot of money to get her own space.
Okay.
But it's for, small animal therapy, art therapy. It's just, horses are so like insightful, and like they're such big creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And so she helps so many like kids and teenagers with all sorts of things. Obviously emotional trauma and, because you say life, shit happens. So much stuff for kids and teens and even adults, how they handle, things and what's going on in their lives. And she implements, horses and animals and art therapy, which is, amazing. And my sister is so smart. She's got her master's in like clinical and mental health counseling from TCU, and she, is obviously a certified counselor and everything. But yeah, so that is about my sister's nonprofit. So it's Native Hoofs Equine Therapy, and it's just a place that doesn't exist yet, and so they're trying to create like, it's like very powerful experience for, people who need their help and are willing to try, different types of therapy that's not like, let me like sit on the couch and like tell me your problem.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
okay.
So yeah, so she wants to do she does like a lot of like community outreach programs and stuff. But yeah, so that would be Native Hooves for sure.
Native Hooves, okay. Well, yeah, I pitched the Doubtfire Face Challenge out your way.
Yes.
You're open for that?
The pie to the face, right? That's what this details.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jason's behind this.
Actually, you know what? After the Ice Bucket Challenge, one came out for suicide and depression awareness after Robin Williams passed, and and it involved taking a pie in the face, and you nominate 3 people, and I did it, and I threw it out to people I've interviewed, and Nancy McLaughlin was one person that did it from Jason Lives, and she did it in front of props from the movie, which was pretty cool.
So fun.
But when I got onto 13 Fanboy, I did one with one of my guests in Toronto, and I threw it out to the 13 Fanboy crew. So, I mentioned it too to Jason Bradford, and I asked him, "Who do you think will do it?" And he says, "Hayley."
Well, yeah, that's the opposite of a diva, for the record, don't you think? But yes, I'm definitely down to do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw a pie in somebody else's face on set after we're done filming, of course. Makeup and hair would love that.
Well, I'm trying to get.
What are you doing? I'm sorry, I'm throwing pies.
Well, one thing I would say to you, if you and you might, if you do a Doubtfire Face challenge, film it and send it to me. I will make a donation to your sister's charity, Native Hooves.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You think that's a fair exchange?
Oh, absolutely. I would definitely get a pie in the face for that.
Well, you know what? I'll put you to it, and I'll do that. So she's got a website for this, right?
Yes. So it's nativehoofs.org, and it talks about their vision, and there's like a donate button on there, and there's T-shirts and all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
So she's going to do great things.
Well,
so I'm excited to thank you for asking. I can get the word out there any way that I can. So
all right.
Very proud sister.
Yep. And when you do this, nominate 3 people from the industry if you can. Actually, even throw it out to 13 Fanboy people. Let's get them all.
Yeah. I'm like, yep, I definitely will. They're going to love me for this. They'll be like, oh, by the way, nice to meet you. With a part of the face? Cool.
Well, before I let you go, I was wondering if I could get you to do a plug for my show.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Go for it.
All right, you're listening to Greg Gilbert, Python Paradise in New Brunswick, Canada.
Yeah, you didn't say who you was.
I forgot. But I got the rest of the things right.
You better not say you forgot when you go do your lines.
Oh, no. Never.
You want to try it again?
Yes, of course. So,
go for it.
Did you want to say Greg Gilbert on Python?
Of Python's Paradise.
Of Python. Okay. Of Python's Paradise?
Yep.
Plural?
Yep. Go for it.
Okay. Hi, my name is Hayley Greenbauer. I'm on Greg Gilbert of Python's Paradise in New Brunswick, Canada.
Yes, and she is the heroine of 13 Fanboy, a film that I am proud to be a co-producer on. And Jason Bradford is proud to be her whipping boy.
Oh, I'm sweet.
Oh, we love Jason Bradford.
I know. Thank you so much, Greg. It's been a pleasure.
I'll have you back on next year to talk about this again when everything's completed.
Yes, that would be great. I'm excited to see the full arc come circle, It'll be great.
Absolutely. You take care and you have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Greg. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.